In today's video, we are going to be showcasing every single weapon in Blox Fruits. You heard me right. Swords and guns both will be showcased in this video. This is going to be a long video to record. But anyway, let's start with the swords, and we're going to be starting with the least rare sword, which is the katana. This sword has two moves, Quiet Rush and Air Slash, 1 and 20 mastery respectively. Here are the M1s. I'm not on sword stats, give me a second. Okay, let me turn on aura, and let's get, what is this pose? Anyway, here are the M1s for the katana. Really weak, really weak. Now you have the Z move, which is Quiet Rush. It's an A move. It's not a good move in my opinion. Then the X move, which is Air Slash. Yeah, it's really not a good sword. And Cutlass is basically the same thing. M1s is a bit faster, but in my opinion, not as flashy. Same Z move, same X move. It's the exact same sword besides the M1s, which are a bit different. And yeah, now let's get into some of the better swords, which is dual katana with my cooldowns. The Z move, which is Whirlwind. Upgrade from the katana and cutlass in my opinion, and then the X move. Yeah, and then here are the M1s. It's stronger, but not as strong. We're gonna skip the twin hooks for now, go straight to the shark saw. This is dropped from the saw boss in Middletown, the first C. You have the consecutive slashes and execution. Sorry, I'm not really saying things properly. Here is the Z move, which is consecutive slashes, 10 mastery. That does a lot of damage on the X move. Yeah, and then also this is one of the first swords in the game that has a slam on the M1. So boom, 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 boom. Yeah, so let me see something real quick. Now let's get into some of the other swords. So let's get into the triple katana. This one honestly looks cool. Like here is the Z move, which is Air Slash Barrage. It's okay. It's an okay move for a first C sword. It's dropped from the Vice Admiral. Let's see that again. The slashes, when you move, if you can move them, it actually goes certain different places. So that's kind of cool. Like if I wanted to do shift lock, the slashes go different places, and then the X move is Violent Rush. Yeah, so it's a pretty. This sword is honestly very visually good. So now to the Iron Mace. Oh wait, I forgot to show the M1s for the triple katana. Okay, so for most triple swords, the M1s just look like this. Moves you forward. Yeah, so let's get to the Iron Mace. So, Z move, which is Mace Smash. Killer combo, which is the X. The range is so bad on this sword. And here are the M1s. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, it has it's a heavy sword, so it kind of makes sense. This is a third C sword, dropped by Captain Elephant. This is twin hooks. This is a third C weapon, but it's an uncommon, so it's going to be a bit better than the other uncommon swords. So here is the Z move, which is Sky Cyclone. It's a cool move. It's really good in my opinion, but not as good as the other swords coming up. And the X move. After the Dragon update, it's got a giant rework in my opinion. So, and then here are the M1s. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, so it's kind of crazy. Now I'm getting to the rare sword. So now we have the long sword. This sword is it's not as good as the twin hooks. Let's just say that. So here is basically a plant-based sword. You have Annihilate, Glorious Smash. Pause. And here is the Z move, which is Annihilate. It's a grass sword. Like you can even tell by the model. It's a grass sword. Anyway, and here's Glorious Smash. What type of stuff's name is that? But anyway, boom. Basically smash. You actually go into your opponent and basically slam on the ground. And then here are the M1s. Let me see that more closer up. Crazy sword though. I mean, honestly, it's good visually, but not good otherwise. Dragon Trident, one of the best swords in the game. Here are the M1s for it. I don't keep mixing up the M1s and the Z move, but here, boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, you get the point. Now the Z move, which is Sea Dragon Fury. And here the X move, which is Water Dragon Shower. Biggest AoE of a sword in the game, I think. It's one of the biggest. Now, if you see him blitzing through this, it's because I have a lot of weapons to get through, and I don't want to be here the entire day just trying to do a video, so yeah. Gravity Blade. It's got a rework after update 20, made it so much better than it was before. One of my favorite swords to use actually. So here's the Z move, which is Dimensional Grasp. It brings in your opponent, and yeah, drags them. Here's the X move, which is Lunar Blitz. Basically puts them in the sky, gravity combo, and down. Crazy move for PvP, especially because you could do this, into this, into this. I can make something up with that, right? Gravity Blade is really good for PvP. Try and showcase. Z move, which is try to throw. Yeah, it's a crazy move in my opinion. It just grabs them, pulls them towards you, and then Water Pulse. Boom. Yeah, and here are the M1s. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. Now we have the Soul Cane. It's one of the most underrated swords for PvP in the game. Here the M1s. Boom, 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 boom. Soul Beam, which is a Z. Freezes them. Leaves them there similar to the Ice Fruit. The Soul Slashes. Yeah, it's a really underrated sword in my opinion. Yeah, but now it's the Flare, which used to be called the GT until they switched it in update 24, which was like a year and a half ago. Oh yeah, so here are the M1s. Now let's get into the Z move, which is Smoke Tiger. Yeah, it's just like the Smoke Fruit, but it's worse in my opinion. The X move, which is Smoke Apprehension, basically, or Smoke Apparition, whatever you call it, kind of teleports to them, and it's basically, I think they're blinded afterwards, I believe. Yeah, they're blinded after that, so I can't really show that. But yeah, they're blinded afterwards, so yeah. Yeah, Flail's not a good sword, but yeah, it's really not. But Dual-Headed Blade is, again, not a good... Why does this keep happening? Dual-Headed Blade, Z move, which is Assassinate. You move forward, and basically like... Yeah, it's basically a combo. And then Raging Wind, which is the X. 3 tornadoes spawn in, and the NPCs get knocked back into one of them. But let me show the Z move, and then here are the M1s. Now, the Pipe is one of my favorite swords. Why did not equip? There we go. I'm lagging for some reason. Alright, here is the Pipe. Z move, which is Pipe Ignition. Yeah, Pipe Ignition. And this is the X move, which is Dragon Blast. I did not show that great. Maybe it just leaves a big trail of fire for the NPCs. Yeah, and then here are the M1s. Yeah. It's a really good sword in my opinion if you're in the first C, but like especially this move kind of knocks them back, and then with the dragon, and then basically like explodes on the floor. It's a pretty good sword. Now this sword is literally the worst sword in the game, and not the worst sword in the game. It's one of them. Can you get out of here, please? You know what? Okay, there we go. Okay, so the Warden sword here, the M1s. It's a long sword, so like you can, like its M1s are pretty good. The Z move is multi-target slash. It's not that good in my opinion. It's not. The next move is Tornado Slash. Again, not that good. Honestly, I've seen a lot better swords, and especially in the first C. Now we're getting to the legendary swords, starting with Pole's second form. Now this sword is really good for skill PvP and also for PvP in general. It pairs really good with lightning and other sun fruits. So here's the Z move, Hand of God, and then Electric Prison. I didn't completely miss that move. The X move again, which is Electric Prison. Basically gets them in a little prison and explodes pretty good. Now next up you have Tushita. Let me get rid of one of these NPCs. I was thinking if I'm to fight two. Okay, now here is Heavenly Lunges. It's a really good sun sword in my opinion. Now you're getting to the better swords in the game. And Celestial Ravager. Good sword. Really good sword. Okay. Now into... Oh, I forgot the M1s. Okay. Most swords at this point is just boom, 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 move forward, boom, 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 move forward. It's not really that special. Yeah, I also have Sword of Mastery on the thing for some reason, so yeah. Mr. Rengoku, if you guys know the reference, you know the reference. Here is his Z move, which is Demon Slayer. Honestly, crazy move, right? So, yeah, and it's also one of the only swords that can actually penetrate blade and actually blade move. Like the blade user move because of its multiple attack like this. And then also the X move, which is Burning Slash. Boom! It leaves a big trail of fire, and yeah, here are the M1s. Yeah, most likely like all the other M1s. Cavender, which should be reworked in my opinion, because it's a good sword, but visually kind of lacks, and also has one of the worst M1s in the game, like boom, boom, boom. Like, it just keep moving forward. Like, in my opinion, not good. So it's a good sword, but visually lacks. Here's the Z move, which is Piercing Dash. And the X move, which is Piercing Gust. Each move is a traveling move. Gotta remember that. Each move is a traveling move. And that's why this sword could be below others. Now we got Midnight Blade, one of my favorite swords. As you can see, it's 600 mastery. Yeah, I actually love this sword, and especially since it's reworked in update 20, which is like, I don't know, a few years ago. And now, here's the Z move, which is Portal Opening. Honestly, one of my favorite moves in the entire game, and then the X move, which is Crescent Dash. The Z move is actually better than the X move, surprisingly. And here are the M1s. Like, most swords are held like this, it's with like this. And also the sword model was recently updated, so this looks really cool. Alright, so now let's get into Yama. Yama is honestly better than Tushita because they're both the CDK swords, but I like Yama better. So here is the Z move. Yeah, Hellish Slash is pretty good. And then Infernal Hurricane. Each move is a traveling move, but unlike Canvander, it actually has some use to it. Like the Hellish Slash, if you miss the NPC, the Slash actually hits the NPC anyway. So honestly, that's why it's better in my opinion. Dark Dagger is the hardest sword in the game to get, besides like Dragon Heart. Do you know how long it took me to get this thing? Yeah, and the moves don't even speak for itself at this point. Like, each move is kind of bad. Alright, Proficient Impale. Basically, you slam into your opponent, and then Shaming Slash, basically, and a projectile appears, and then you go behind the NPC and stab him. Pretty good move in my opinion. Now we have Coco, which honestly looks really cool. But honestly, I think it could have had a rework with Control, but they decided not to. Alright, so Coco is the Z move, which is Electric Stab. One of the most underrated swords in my opinion. I actually love this sword. I used to love this sword actually. And here is his X move, Injection Shot. And it also has an electrifying effect. Here are the M1s. Oh, let me get more close. Let me get a close up. Yep, it's a pretty good sword. Now we have Saber, one of the highest damaging swords in the game. And there's a reason for that. The sword's really good. Now we have the M1s. Now we have the Z move. This is Saber V2, by the way. I can't really get Saber V1, so yeah, this is Saber V2. If you want to look at Saber V1, look at another video. And this is Triple Slash. Yeah, these moves are really good. Like Deadly Rush, this sword is almost as good in everything. Like the M1s are slow, but that's really it. It's the same as the Katana's M1s, or the Cutlass's M1, should I say. Shisui is next, aka Shizu, which is the rename. This sword model looks so clean. Like, it does. Here's the M1s. Alright, now we have the Z move. You teleport and then like do a basically like a finisher technically. Like, I don't know what to call it. And then the Z move is Focus Shot. Basically, it's basically a minigun at this point in a sword. Like, that's why I love this so much. Now we have what was this called? Sadi, but now it's called Saishi. His sword's Dance Z move. And the X move is True Air Slash. Again, visually amazing. Everything about it is not good for, I mean, it's good for some things, it's okay for some things. Here the M1's basically the same thing as all the TTK swords. And now Dragon Heart, the newest sword in the game. Yep, here's the model for it, minus the green effect because that's my blessing on it. Here's the Z move, which is Draconic Blitz. It's basically like a lunge, and yeah, so it's a pretty good move. And then here's the X move. Basically, you charge a little Dragon Ball, comes down, and explodes on impact. Really cool. And here's the M1s. Yeah, I think this thing has the highest M1 damage in the game, or that's still TTK, I don't remember. Here's Orochi, or, well, it used to be called Wando. And the Z move actually has the longest stunning effect in the entire game. Look at this. Look how long I'm holding it for, and it's gonna stop right there. But the sword, besides the Z move, is pretty bad. Like Dragon Gust the X, it looks terrible. Honestly, the worst out of the TTK swords. And like all of them, M1s, right here, M1, boom, 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 boom. Yep, not bad. And Pole First Form is a sword that you get from the Thunder God in First Sea, and this you'd have to get to 180 Mastery, which is to unlock the X move in order to get Pole V2. So it's a whole new quest line for it since the change from Lightning. Here's the Z move to Explosive Cloud. I mean, the visuals look okay, but like everything else looks kind of terrible. Like Lightning Rain, I mean, that could be used for stuns, but like you could do like this, and this, and this, and this, and this. Like, you could do something like that with this sword, but that's really it. Like, you could do, this. Yeah, you could do something like that. I keep making up combos even though I have no idea what I'm doing. I like it so much. Anyway, yeah, and here are the, M1s for it. It's slow, and the only thing you can actually do is stun with them with it. Now, this is one of my favorite swords, Box Lamp. I was so excited when I actually got this sword. Now, here's the Z move, which is Scorching Azure. But also, this move has two versions of it. That was the held, and this is just the tap. It's the same thing at this point. But the X move is two different versions. You have the tap. Yeah, and you also have the X move when you hold it down, which I'm going to show to you in a second after my cooldown is done. Here's the held. Boom. Yeah, it's a crazy sword. I love this sword so much. And here is the here's the M1. It's continuous. It's continuous, yeah. Or almost continuous. It's a really fast M1. And now we have Bicento. This is a First Sea weapon, but do not have it fooled. It's one of the greatest underrated weapons in the game. And yeah, this is the Z move, which is Quake Sphere. And here's the X move, which is Quake, and no, I was Windbreaker, this is Quake Sphere. Why can't regular Quake be like this? Why can't it be? This is also a heavy weapon, so the M1s have like a slam effect at the end. But why can't Quake be like this? Now we have Shark Anchor. Portal Shark Anchor build, you know where I'm getting with this? Okay. Z move, which is Typhoon Toss. And now we have the X move, which is Armor Breaker. Yeah, it's a good sword. I keep saying it's a crazy sword, or it's a good sword, or yeah, it's a good sword. It's a great sword actually. It came out in update 20. It has really great movement, and also when you do it in the air, you'll have something when you do it in the air or something. I can't really do it on this, but yeah, there's like a crack effect when you do it. That's pretty cool. Buddy Sword, aka the sniper rifle at this point. So you have the Z move, which is Heat Slash. It also has burn effect. But let me show you why I called this a sniper rifle. Let me just show you. Let me show you why. Alright, instinct on. But there is a reason why I called this thing a sniper rifle. This is the X. I hit him from here, which is not that impressive. But yeah, I could do it from over there, but my aim is just terrible. Now we have Spiky Trident, which is the PvP staple if you really want to learn PvP because of the X move, which you'll see in a second. But now you have the Z move, which is Do Hurricane. Basically, like, puts them in place and basically, like, lunges them forward. And let me show you why this is a staple for PvP. Flying Trident Pull. It pulls your NPC or enemy towards you. And honestly, that's why it's good for PvP. Unfortunately, it is not cantrickable. So it is cantrickable. So you have to line up perfectly because it will miss if you not do it correctly. Boom, 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 boom. That's Buddy Sword. And spiky trident, it's the same thing as most swords. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, forgot about that. Now CDK is a really good sword. It's the best sword in the game, right? So the Z move, which is Revolving Ravager. Yeah, that's just crazy. And then the X move. Yeah, this is just crazy. These moves are crazy. But then you also have the M1s. Yeah, it's not good visually, but it is good, pretty good visually. But this, all the other mythical swords besides maybe Hollow Sight, actually looks a lot better than this. All right, so this is the Z move, which is Wolf Fang Rush. Pretty good. But then you also have the X move, which is Dragon Hurricane. It looks like a freaking tornado to attack your enemies. It also has EOE and all that. And here is the M1. It's the same as Triple Katana's M1, but just a whole lot better. Now we have Dark Blade, with the one that you have to spend 1,200 Robux for in order to obtain or trade it. Yeah, and there's no reason for that in my opinion. Here is the Z move. That is not tapped, but it does have a custom walking animation that's pretty cool. And then now you also have the tap, you have the held, basically lunges forward. This is not available with Darkblade V1, and this is Darkblade V3 that I'm using right now, but this actually is obtainable with Darkblade V2. All the moves are the same, but except that they're green, but Darkblade V1 has its own moveset. I can't switch back to that. And here is the X move, which is Dark Air Slash. Yeah, it has crazy range, and it's also a good sword. But last of our swords is Hollow Scythe. Probably the worst mythical. Yes, it is. Don't unsubscribe. I see you unsubscribing. Do not unsubscribe. Because it's actually true. Here's the Z move, which is Death Cyclone. Yeah, it's good, but not great, in my opinion. And here is the X move, which is Soul Execution. It has a good moveset, but it's just not the best sword. Okay, so now it's time to go into the guns, which I will do a whole lot quicker because I want this video to be done and over with since I am actually sick right now. Okay, so here is the M1s. Boom, boom, boom. Fast. Does not have the greatest range in my opinion. No, it doesn't. Here's the Z move, which is Ink Bomb. Traps them in place, but the tentacles do not do anything if they get out of it. And that Proximity Bomb, it just launches the bomb towards them and explodes. It's not the greatest sword. Or not the greatest gun. I'm sorry, I'm so used to saying sword. Alright, musket. Here is the M1. Boom. It's a musket shot. What do you expect? Musket. Boom, boom, boom. Another M1. Now I have Draconic Bullet at the Z. And the X move, which is Torching Shot. The guns look a whole lot better than the swords, at least these guns. These got reworked in update 24, so yeah. Flintlock, which has actually a pretty good animation with it. Especially the reload animation. Look at this. It's flip. This is kind of broken because of the animations are kind of broken, but yeah. I'm showing too much of the M1s. Here's the Z move, which is Concentrated Shot. What's happening? Okay. And the X move, which is Marksman's Fury. It's not the best gun, but it looks good visually. Now the Refined Slingshot, it got one of the biggest reworks in the game. The reason why I'm saying that is because of its moveset, especially the Z move. Here's the Z move. But if they hit a certain octopus over here. Oh, come on, hit. Okay. You see, I'm healing. I'm trying to get the NPC to walk around in it. I'm gonna show that again. Alright? Now, if they step into the little octopi over here, I heal as long as they step into them. See, I'm healing. It's actually crazy. And then there's the X move, Cluster Bomb. Just multiple bombs explode. Yeah, it's a good gun, in my opinion. Here are the M1s. It's the same thing as Slingshot, but a whole lot better. Now, the Bizarre Revolver is one of my favorite guns. It kind of is. It just is. You have a 3 style M1, so 1, 2, and then 3, which is a longer shot, and then it reloads. 1, 2, 3, and it reloads. Now you have Space Bending Blast. Let me just give it to this NPC so I can show you. But this is Z move, which is Space Bending Blast. It basically spawns a bunch of portals and basically like drops on them and then it does damage, similar to this move at this point. Yeah, similar. And now you have Dimensional Surge with the X move. Look at this. It's just beautiful. This gun is beautiful. It really is. Now you have the cannon. This is a firsty weapon. It's not that good. And yeah, it's just not good. And here at the M1s, boom. Yeah, it's what you expect. It's a cannon. It's a literal cannon. What do you expect? It does 4,000 damage for an M1, which is really good, but that's it. Now the chain detonation is Z. And the X move, which is Incendiary ammo. Or I do not know how to pronounce that. Okay? And yeah, that's the cannon. Now the Magma Blaster is one of the highest damaging guns in the game. But first I'll show the M1s. 4k damage per M1. Boom. The shorty. Like I go here, 5,092. Go right in front of them, 5,100. But if I go further away, 3,981. 2,582. 2,582. Like it's a shorty basically. Scorching Burst, which is the Z. But the X move is not lacking. It really isn't. So I can look at this. Can you do this amount of damage with any other gun? Of course you can't. It can do more than 8,000. It can do up to 12,000 if I hit that correctly. It can. Similar to Magma Z. Now we have dual flintlock. This gun is flintlock times 2. Has the craziest animation I've ever seen with a reload. Whoever did this actually cooked. Besides this buggy animation. Now we have Z move, which is splitting beam. Basically, any person in the proximity gets split over this side or this side. And then the Z move, which is the bullet storm. Yeah, it's a crazy move. It is. Now I have the Acidium Rifle, which is the staple for skilled PvP. It is. Now let's get into the M1s. Now we have the Z move, which is Spiky Bomb. It also has a little skull effect if you haven't seen. And now the X move, which is Acidic Smoke, which a lot of people were kind of mad that he changed for some reason. I kind of agree with them. But now we have the Venom Bow. Again, a crazy move. A crazy gun. Like, let me just get over here. Let me show you that the snakes on this are moving. So, yeah. See, alright, so let me do the M1s. I think it's the slowest bow. Now I have the Z move, which is Venomous Spit. Yeah, it is crazy in my opinion. It's honestly crazy, but I think if you aim it in a certain direction, like if they're right underneath me, it still hits them. So yeah, that's a pretty good feature. And then the X move, which is Serpent Bite. The Z move is better, but yeah, it's a crazy gun. It's a crazy gun. Kabucha. Now this gun is crazy. I don't know why the animation's like that, but anyway. It's basically a bird feather effect. Like, look at this. Z move, which is Blazing Phoenix. Basically has 2 Blox Fruit names in one gun. And the X move, which is Dragon Tempest. This did not get changed much because it was crazy for PvP, especially the X. And now we have the newest gun in the game, which is Dragon Storm. Now here are the M1s. Look at this. It's a minigun. Well, not even a minigun. It's a little fireworks show. Like if I aim this in the air, it's a fireworks show at this point. Now we have 2 versions of the Z move. Now we have the regular Z move, which is when it's on the ground. Yeah, it's kind of not special. And now we have the X. Well, now we have the Z in the air. You get spawn wings and then boom. Now we have the X move, which is that basically like a big drags them and it basically does an entire fireworks show basically. Now we have the bazooka. I don't know why I'm having it this high up. Like this is not even. I'm just picking it out of my inventory and doing a showcase. I'm not even doing it on purpose. Okay, so here is the M1s. It's a bazooka. Like it's a bazooka. Like it's 4,870 damage per M1 is really good. Well, then the Z move, which is Heat Wave, does 6,352 damage. No, it doesn't. Okay, it's because I hit 2 NPCs. And now the X move, which is Flare Missiles. Do the math. Divide this by 2. Anyway, yeah, that's the bazooka, and now we have the last gun, which is the Skull Guitar. Here's the M1s. Now you have the Z move, which is Soul Shaker. And then now this is the biggest PvP gun move in the game for guns, which is El Diablo. So yeah, let me just get rid of this NPC right here. Okay, so yeah, that is every single weapon in Blox Fruits. That is every sword, every gun, and yeah, that's all the weapons. So I hope everybody enjoyed today's video. Please like, subscribe. This video took me a long time to make. I apologize, I was rushing through everything. It's because number 1, I'm sick and I don't want to be recording for long. And number 2, I just had to showcase how many swords are there again? Like 39, and also 14 guns. So I had to showcase over 50 weapons. So yeah, I didn't want to do that the entire day. I have a life, and I also need to start editing and stuff. So yeah, I hope everyone enjoyed today's video, and have a great day, everybody.